Well, it's 10 p.m. and if you thought this was going to be an easy Sunday evening when there's not much to watch on television, I can tell you news television is where it's at. That's because there's a complete crisis, a meltdown of sorts in the Rajasthan Congress, possibly being engineered by Ashok Gehlot. But more than 90 MLAs loyal to him have now gone to the Speaker where they say they want to resign. If you think this is op lotus in play, an attempt by the BJP to come to power in Rajasthan, that would be incorrect, at least for the moment. What this is a massive internal struggle within the Congress, where the large number of the Rajasthan Congress believes that Ashok Gehlot or somebody who is close to Gehlot needs to be the Chief Minister in case Gehlot ends up becoming Congress President if he wins the election over there. This also means that they have no faith in Sachin Pilot. Pilot, the last we heard, has about 20 odd supporters of his and has been meeting Ashok Gehlot in the last little while. But the drama is actually going to take place in the next couple of hours at the Speaker's residence, where perhaps Ashok Gehlot will end up in the 11th hour meeting his leaders over there, working out a formula and bringing peace. Because I think everybody believes that this isn't the Congress party about to throw one of the few states which they actually control to the BJP. Because if they were actually to resign, and if the Speaker were to accept that resignation, then the Assembly, the strength in the floor in the Assembly would go down dramatically, and that would give the BJP a clear shot at coming to power. So this is infighting within the Congress. It speaks very poorly about discipline at one level within the Congress. It adds to the argument that the Congress as a political party is melting down. There is an equivalence which can be drawn with the mess that the Congress found itself in Punjab. Circumstances different, but again, this sort of problem, different factions, intense factionalism, one leader versus the other. Perhaps some weak Chief Minister might end up, because at this juncture, and Sanket, do jump in, if the top leadership of the Congress doesn't actually accept what has been said by all of these leaders, that we have to have somebody loyal to Mr. Gehlot. If they don't accept that, then this crisis isn't going away.
I don't know who will call whose bluff, but this is a game of poker going on right now. It's very, very clearly that, where the MLAs are choosing to resign in front of the Speaker. Though technically these MLAs, yes, at least those who are ministers, go and resign to the Chief Minister, then they go to the Governor. When you resign, offer your resignation to the Speaker, this is not due process.
Right.
But it is very clear that once this is done, and say for instance this is accepted, then you have a weird situation where in an assembly of 200, 92 people resign of the ruling party. And when there is a trust vote with this resignation, the BJP with its 75, 76 odd comes to power. Imagine the strength of the House is down to 100 and BJP has 75. Now this appears illogical. Yeah. And there is still about a year left for elections in Rajasthan. Yeah. This is a clear case of Mr. Ashok Gehlot flexing his muscles after having realized that every possible door is shut as far as negotiating with the Gandhis is concerned. Yeah. They want him to become the Congress president. They want him to contest for the position of the Congress president. And even before that can happen, or the nomination for that can happen, a decision is being arrived at as to who will fill the vacuum in Rajasthan. Now, it appears logical if the central leadership is thinking along these lines. Yeah. But this does not go to the script, exactly to script as far as Mr. Ashok Gehlot is concerned. As we were discussing in the past also, this is the third major confrontation between Sachin Pilot as well as Ashok Gehlot. Now, the most important point is going to be, say for instance, hypothetically speaking, because we don't know what is going to happen. If the Congress party is so upset, Rahul Gandhi and the Gandhis are so upset that they say, Mr. Gehlot, enough is enough. We are in charge and you will have to do this. Then what happens? Do these MLAs continue with their resignation or do they then align with what the Gandhis
Yeah,
want?
because on the one hand,
And
they are still professing loyalty to the Gandhis.
In
And
a
yet if the
situation
Gandhis
like
say
this-
that you cannot be deciding these things and create a rebellion
Exactly.
within the party, and it has to be Sachin Pilot, and you better accept it, then what do these people do?
Imagine, and in a situation like this, will Mr. Ashok Gehlot still want to run for Congress president?
Yeah, no, exactly. It really, it's all about the leadership of the Gandhis as well. Harsha has been tracking all of this, and I suspect that, Harsha, you've been standing for hours now, and I suspect that we're going to torture you for a few more. But what exactly is happening where you are right now at the Speaker's residence? Any idea?
Well, Vishnu, I'm outside the Speaker's residence, and incidentally, that Speaker's residence is right in front of former Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje's residence. So it's quite interestingly aligned, so to speak. But we've been told that about 92 MLAs have gone inside. That's the figure that the Gehlot camp is saying, that they have 92 MLAs with them, and that they are inside in the Speaker's residence, and they are wanting to give their resignation into the Speaker. But like you pointed out, before they went, and you saw those MLAs coming up to us actually and speaking to us while we were live with you in the studio, Mr. Pratap Singh Khachariawas and that MLA from Pratapgarh, Mr. Meena, who came, and I said, are you resigning and handing over this government to the BJP really? So he said, no, we are not planning to do that. We want the High Command to talk to us.
Okay, Harsha, some breaking news coming in.
Understanding
Harsha, some breaking news coming in. I want to go across to Sanket. Sanket, you're hearing Ashok Gehlot has spoken to Mr. Venugopal.
The General Secretary Organization of the Congress Party, and Harsha can perhaps weigh in. There is a phone conversation that has happened between Ashok Gehlot and the General Secretary Organization of the Congress, Mr. K.C. Venugopal, where Mr. Venugopal wanted to understand what exactly is happening, to which Mr. Gehlot is believed to have told Mr. Venugopal that it's not in my control, the MLAs are unhappy. This is what we are learning as of this moment. So Mr. Gehlot telling the party central leadership, I can't do anything, MLAs are unhappy.
And the party leadership just believes that, right?
Well, this is Mr. Venugopal. He'll take this message to the Gandhis. So it'll be interesting to see. As I said, this drama is going to play out for
a couple of days at this rate. Yeah, it's not ending tonight. Harsha, sorry we interrupted you. Go ahead. And just reflect on that conversation between Gehlot and Mr. Venugopal.
Like you're saying,
yeah.
And like you're saying, this drama is going to play out, because I'm also hearing that these MLAs are not going to go back home from here. Oh. So they actually could get back into that bus and go somewhere else. And interestingly, the person who's tweeted this is Gajendra Singh Shekhawat from the BJP, yes, who's of course always watching from the sidelines. And he said that Bade Bande mein wapas ja sakti hai sarkar. So if they're willing to dig their heels into that extent, then it could possibly be, because you brought it to this brickmanship, you brought it to this point where they are wanting to resign. They're not going to go back tamely to their house. And let me also tell you that right now, just half a kilometer away at the Chief Minister's residence, at Mr. Ashok Gehlot's residence, Mr. Sachin Pilot is there with his supporters. We are told there are about 22 to 25 of them, 92 here at the CM at the Speaker's residence, and of course the party observers. So this is what's happening, negotiations between both sides, and we are told that actually Mr. Gehlot's loyalists could also be whisked away somewhere from the Speaker's residence if things don't work out. So they could be prepared for a long standoff.
But whisked away to what effect? I mean, it's not as if they're leaving the Congress. I mean, I don't see resort politics playing out.
No, who knows? Harsha is right,
there is
Vishnu.
talk of that. There is talk of that. Let's see how it comes out.
But Sanket, why would that potentially be the case?
Why? You look at Mr. Sachin Pilot's case. Why did it happen with Sachin Pilot loyalists? They went to a resort. In fact, they went and allegedly conspired with the BJP and stayed in a resort in Haryana.
But that isn't the case over here. This is infighting within the Congress.
This is infighting, absolutely. No, by the way, even that was infighting. That was infighting between Mr. Pilot as well as Mr. Gehlot, which led to him going into a BJP-ruled resort.
Right.
But here, Mr. Gehlot is basically, expressing his anger against the decision of the Congress leadership. Perhaps he senses that he can do this. that it is important enough to be able to do this.
No, I'm just trying to understand if these leaders are now headed to some sort of resort to keep this flock together when there doesn't appear to be any sign of them being disunited and they remain loyal to the Congress. But let's see how that... Tehseen joins us. Tehseen Poonawalla, your thoughts of this? What a mess this is, Tehseen. How is this actually going to play out? Tehseen Poonawalla, go ahead.
Thank you so much for having me, and I would have hoped, and I'm going to be honest, that this did not play out the way it is. I'm going to say 2 or 3 things, and I'm going to say this very, very firmly. When you're in a party, no matter what position you're in, and I'm saying this as a supporter who's always voted to Congress, yours is not to question why, yours is but to do or die. When you start thinking you're bigger than the party, that's when, as Dinkar said, jab naash manuj par chhata hai, pehle vivek mar jata hai. I'm not saying this for anyone in particular, but I think people have understood. But there's something more that I want to say and convey, which anguishes me as a supporter of the party, and I really, really hope that this sorts out. The kind of people who are there to sort out Rajasthan, I have no confidence in them. So it will be left only to the Gandhis to do it. And of course, RG and Mrs. Gandhi do have the capability of sorting this out. But the lieutenants that they have deputed at this moment, or the soldiers that they have deputed at this moment, are absolute people who evoke no confidence in the Congress. If they can't win their own Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha or Assembly seats, if they've destroyed the Congress media department, it speaks volumes of how incompetent they are. And they continue to show their incompetence.
Okay.
And I think this is something RG, just one advice. I've always told this, and I'm saying this. RG needs to select slightly better people to work to represent him, because some of these people have been total disasters.
Radhika Khera, Congress spokesperson, with us as well. How is this going to play out? Are the Gandhis going to reach out to these MLAs, or is Mr. Gehlot going to tell them to end this rebellion, as it were?
See, first of all, the Congress party has internal democracy. We're a democratic party where we elect our leader. And also, when we win a state, after we get elected, our MLAs decide who the Chief Minister is going to be. Again, the process of election is there everywhere because we're a democratic party. Now, these MLAs have given their opinion, what they want. They're free to raise their voices. Like I said, internal democracy is always welcomed in the Congress. You're free to raise your concerns and voices. They have raised their concerns. The party high command, the Congress president will listen to them, and everything will be done with consultation with the MLAs, with the leaders. We always work in consultation with our state leaders, our MLAs, our MPs. Like I said, internal democracy holds forth.
Radhika, that's really important. That is the message of the Congress leadership to these MLAs, that the leadership of the Congress party will work with them and resolve this issue. Is that what you're saying? Is that the official position of the Congress?
Absolutely.
Right, okay.
Absolutely.
Right.
Whatever the MLAs
and has that been conveyed? I mean, you're
want.
conveying that over here. Perhaps some of them are watching. But has that been conveyed in any other way?
That is always the case. And I'm sure that has already been
but
conveyed
is
to
this
them.
being conveyed presently? Because they're all of the speakers out saying they want to resign. So
they went and raised their voices. They gave their opinion that who they want as their leader. They are free to do that. Like I said, it is the MLAs who will decide who their chief minister will be, and the Congress president in consultation with the MLAs.
No, I understand that, but I'm just trying to understand the immediate steps.
Yeah.
If you've got 93 MLAs, of 93, the number just changes 1 or 2 here or there. At the Speaker's house, all of them saying that they want to resign. How are you going to diffuse the present situation? The message which you're telling me now, that the leadership is going to work with them, has that message been told to them right now?
Absolutely.
It's been told. So is it fair for us to report that the Congress leadership has reached out to these MLAs at the Speaker's house residence and has conveyed to them that they'll work out these problems? Is that fair for me to report?
Absolutely. The Congress leadership has, the General Secretary in charge would have by now reached out to them. And like I said, they have presented their views with consultation with the leaders, consultation with Gehlot ji and the speakers. Everyone will have their opinion. Congress, like I said, is a democratic party. Internal democracy is very important.
Got it. Radhika, be with us because you've made some important points. It takes these developments forward. I just want to go across to, in fact, a quick comment from Sanket. Sanket, the news development over here is that the top leadership of the Congress party has reached out to these MLAs at the Speaker's house and has said that look, let's sort this out, we will work it out. So the channel of conversation is now started. It's a small point, but an important one.
As far as channel of conversation is concerned, two central leaders were already there in Jaipur. So that channel of conversation was always there.
No, but now it's come from the center. It's obviously come from the Gandhis.
In the middle of what the Congress thought will be a very scripted regime change, that has not happened. In the middle of that, the script has been changed. And I still maintain that this is not just angry MLAs acting of their own volition. The conversation between Mr. Ashok Gehlot and KC Venugopal and the conversation that we have learned by way of sources is very clear that Mr. Gehlot is also unhappy, and this in turn is making the central leadership unhappy. But one will have to see how this is going to play out, what exactly is going to happen from here on. Will Mr. Gehlot win or be able to successfully influence the central leadership in saying that if you want a chief minister, then let that CM be of the choice of these majority MLAs.
Okay.
These MLAs have made it very clear that we cannot side with someone who was conspiring against the Congress,
Aarti,
who was in a resort against the Congress.
Okay. Aarti, surely the Gandhis wouldn't believe for a moment that Ashok Gehlot wasn't the mastermind behind this. Surely they won't accept the line that, oh, these MLAs, they're upset and, they've done what they want to, I'm out of it. It appears that this is a message being sent by Ashok Gehlot in as much as it's a message being sent by these 93 others.
Absolutely. Vishnu, this is a show of strength by Ashok Gehlot. He has proved to the Gandhis that he has 92, 93 of the 100 and whatever MLAs the Congress has in Rajasthan, and that the Sachin pilot camp has just about 20, 25, which is what the Sachin pilot camp had at the time Sachin launched his rebellion and, almost brought down the government. So the number has not changed, So I think this is a very clear message from Ashok Gehlot that the majority of the MLAs are with me. And, so we need to think of a compromise. If you want me to move to the center and contest for the Congress president elections, then you need to keep in mind the fact that my MLAs will not work under Sachin pilot. These are my loyalists, so it has to be somebody who, gets on with me, or somebody of my choice, or somebody who I consider a neutral figure in Rajasthan politics.
Okay.
What surprises me about all this, Vishnu, is that, this has been brewing for some time. Ashok Gehlot has made it very clear to everybody that if he contests for Congress president, he does not want Sachin pilot to succeed him in Rajasthan. I am surprised that the Gandhis have allowed things to reach this crisis point instead of trying to stop this or resolve this before, this whole drama was enacted this evening.
Okay.
Because this makes the Congress look really weak.
Yeah, it does. In fact, let me go back to Radhika Khera. These MLAs have a very clear demand. If it's not going to be Ashok Gehlot, then it has to be somebody close to Ashok Gehlot. We don't know who that person is. We were discussing this earlier in the evening. This is almost a replica of the Channi situation in Punjab, where you might end up with a weak chief minister who is loyal to Ashok Gehlot at one level. How is this in the interests of the Congress at the centre, at the Congress as a party?
I'm sorry, this is nothing similar to Punjab. Punjab, we saw what happened. Captain Amrinder Singh was hands in glove with the Bharatiya Janata Party, and he has proved it today by merging his party with the Bharatiya Janata Party. The president at that time, Mr. Jhakar, he is with Bharatiya Janata Party. So what our fears were at that time, that they are with the Bharatiya Janata Party and they have not been working, they have not been fulfilling the promises that the Congress party promised to the people of Punjab, which is why we lost the state. We should have probably taken that decision much earlier. And we are facing the consequences today. But Rajasthan is absolutely different. We have big leaders and we have leaders who are loyal to the party.
All right.
There is a major difference. There is loyalty over here as against people who were working in unison with the Bharatiya Janata
No, but if
Party.
you are, Radhika, talking about
the
loyalty, then there is loyalty to the rules of the party versus loyalty to Mr. Ashok Gehlot. Over here, it appears that everything that Mallikarjun Kharge or Ajay Maken have said throughout the day hasn't made an impact. They aren't following the rules. The CLP's rules appear to be independent of what all of these. So where are the rules? Where's the discipline within the Congress?
See, like I said, there are times when decisions have to be taken. There are different situations that are happening, and we should not rely on rumors and just sources. The meeting was supposed to take place. The MLAs came out and gave their decision. Now there will be talks and everything is under control.
No, but Radhika, most respectfully, we aren't relying on sources. We are talking, Pratap Khachariawaz came out, issued statements in public.
Yes,
so
he has,
no rumors, no sources, no deniability. It's all out there in the open.
Yes, so they have given, the MLAs have told everyone, and it's like I said, Congress is a democratic party. They are free to voice their opinions, which you never see anywhere. Have you ever seen, whether it has been Gujarat or any state, suddenly the chief minister just changes, Gujarat, Uttarakhand, and nobody gets to know. In fact, last time when the Gujarat chief minister changed, he was sitting in his house and he didn't even know. He wanted to confirm whether he was the same person who was being, who had been made the chief minister. He himself was in. They had no idea, but here it is very different. The MLAs are going to sit and decide. They have given their opinion.
Okay, Radhika, half a second. Sanket, go ahead. Yeah.
Miss Kheda, my question to you is, right now you said Captain Amrinder Singh and Mr. Jhakar were hand in glove with the BJP. What was Mr. Pilot doing in a Haryana resort, a BJP ruled Haryana resort in 2020? Was he not hand in glove? Why was he being provided Haryana police security? And he had 20 of your MLAs with him. So much so that your own government in 2020 in Rajasthan was under threat. And then it was Mr. Gehlot who made sure that, the troubleshooter that he is, the Congress party rallied behind him and you were able to save your government. So why is it that the BJP conspiracy exists in the case of Punjab, but does not exist in the case of Mr. Sachin Pai? Why this long leash?
Like you said, Mr. Gehlot, in short, that there was no harm to the government, and that is again going to happen over here. And whatever the outcome may be, whether he contests for the post of president or not, whether
Radhika, the point is, why is the Congress party so willing to discount the fact that Mr. Sachin Pilot was, strongly supported by the BJP in the 2020 crisis? You're willing to forgive and discount all of that. No one else has this sort of luxury. I'm just very curious to know why. And now you want him to be chief minister.
See, like I said, Sachin Pilot ji is a Congressy leader, and he has proved his loyalty to the party time and again, and he is working alongside the Congress leaders.
By being in a Haryana resort in 2020.
Sometimes some mistakes happen, Sanket, and if you learn from them, वो कहते हैं ना, सुबह का भूला अगर शाम को घर आ जाए तो उसे भूला नहीं कहते. He realized his mistake and he was back, and he did not ditch the party, unlike Mr. Scindia or Mr. Jhakar or Captain Amrinder Singh. We all make mistakes, don't we? Sometimes you also leave a channel and come back.
So Sanket, that was a bad mistake you made, Sanket. But terrible mistake, Sanket. No. If he denies it, he's wrong. He made a bad mistake in the past, but he's with us again. I'm going to come back in a second because there are some more, and there is this time source-based information coming in on what the next steps may be. I'll get Radhika to respond to that. We'll take a short break, come back with more. Welcome back. In case you've just joined us, I'll just bring you up to speed with the very latest developments. What you are seeing is a complete meltdown within the Congress party in Rajasthan. If you think this is about Op Lotus and the possibility of the BJP making or gaining ground in Rajasthan, you'd be wrong. It's not. There is deep infighting within the Congress, and at the moment more than 90 MLAs are at the residence of the Speaker, where they say they are going to resign. Why are they saying that? Because they don't want Ashok Gehlot to go away as Chief Minister, and because he is applying to try and be the President of the Congress party. But they're also saying that in case he does go ahead and choose to do that, then there has to be another leader who replaces him. And that leader should not be Sachin Pilot. Sachin Pilot there was apparently a script which had to be followed today, was supposed to be named as the next Chief Minister, with Ashok Gehlot moving or attempting to be the next president of the Congress party. But let me just go across to Radhika Khera, the Congress spokesperson, who is still with us. Radhika, there are some reports at this stage which suggest that both Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot have been called to Delhi. Can you confirm that? I think you're on mute. Yeah.
As of now, I don't know about that, but I'm sure there will be talks and the leadership would like to speak to everyone, and not just them, other leaders of the party also. And the leadership, like I said, has reached out to the MLAs as well. And everything will be done in consultation. There will be no one who will be made Chief Minister or asked to step down as Chief Minister without the consultation of every member of the Legislative Assembly of Rajasthan and the senior leadership of Rajasthan. The Congress, like I said, is a family, a democrat, and there is internal democracy in this family. Everyone is free to voice their opinions and in consultation with everyone's opinions, because everyone has to work together with happiness and together, because we have to work for the progress of Rajasthan, not for the whims and fancies of any one person. The progress of Rajasthan is the most important objective of the Congress party, and we are going to live up to that, live up to the commitments and the promises. And let me tell you, there is no infighting. There is just this is just a time where where the MLAs are voicing their opinion, and they will be heard.
I just want to take this tweet on because the BJP is reacting to this as well. This is the Union Cabinet Minister for Environment, Bhupendra Yadav, who has just tweeted, and let's play that out. What he says, Kripya pehle inhe jod lo. Sanket, the BJP obviously is going to be...
This is a dig at the Bharat Jodo Yatra.
Yeah, exactly.
Bhupendra Yadav, who is from Rajasthan, by the way, says that why don't you jodo these two people first?
Before talking about Bharat Jodo.
Before talking about Bharat Jodo.
Yeah.
So the BJP is doing that a lot. In fact, even Arvind Kejriwal's party, the Aam Aadmi Party, is doing this. Raghav Chadda has just tweeted where he says, Congress khatam hai, Kejriwal vikalp hai.
Right.
It's the position that they've been taking.
Aarti,
everyone's having fun.
Aarti, how do you one sec. Aarti, how do you actually see this playing out going forward?
Now, as I said, I am really surprised at the Gandhi family, because this is something they should have anticipated. Because Ashok Gehlot had made it pretty clear that he was not going to contest and move out of Rajasthan unless a person of his choice was made Chief Minister.
Right.
So, this is really Punjab being repeated again, where Amrinder Singh, Jakhar, Sunil Jakhar, and so many people in the Congress did not want Navjot Singh Sidhu as the party president in Punjab. But Priyanka and Rahul prevailed, and they insisted on appointing him president. And after that, all hell broke loose in the Congress. And Navjot Singh Sidhu was a liability right up till the election, because he was firing salvos all over the place, a completely misguided missile, and he just alienated everybody in the party, And the same thing is happening here. Rahul and Priyanka, from my understanding, is that, Sonia is much more amenable, but Rahul and Priyanka are absolutely insistent that a young face take over like Sachin Pilot. But Sachin Pilot is simply not acceptable to the majority of the MLAs, as you can see from the fact that 92 MLAs are ready to quit.
Yeah.
Because they don't want.
Let's just try and go back to NDTV's Harsha Kumari Singh.
Rahul and Priyanka must listen to what their MLAs say. Otherwise, they will be making the same mistake in Rajasthan as they made in Punjab.
We'll try and go back to NDTV's Harsha Kumari Singh in a few moments from now. Tehseen, how do you see the immediate situation, being sorted? How do you get these 93 MLAs out of the Speaker's house, back in their own house? Or do you think that they're going to actually sort of club together, remain together, go off to some resort, and then we see some different brand of resort politics play out?
No, resort won't happen, because it's a Congress government, and these are MLAs who, as per your report, support Ashok Gehlot ji. So resort won't happen. That's point number one. So that won't be required. But there's a larger analysis. One, the comparison with Punjab RTG made is completely wrong, and there I concur with Radhika. See, Navjot Singh Sidhu was an outsider. Sachin and Gehlot Sahab are both insiders in the Congress. So that's a completely, that's not the fair comparison to be made. So the resentment to Sidhu is also because he was an outsider. But to the credit of the Gandhis, they didn't make Sidhu the Chief Minister of Punjab. So what Radhika said, to an extent I concur with her. See, don't look at this only as a rebel. These are 92 MLAs who are putting their opinion. The Congress High Command, look, you have to understand something. The Congress functions like a trust. The Gandhis are trustees, and they don't operate in sort of a dictatorial way. So the views of all MLAs are taken on board, and ultimately it's always the views of the majority that prevail. That's A. B, but I'll say one thing and I'll admit to one thing. As much as this will require the Gandhis and perhaps Mrs. Sonia Gandhi at the very top to solve this and resolve this, because I don't deny that there is some amount of friction. RG needs to think. RG needs to
that is the understatement of the year.
It's not the understatement of the year. The understatement of the year is Nirmala Sitharaman saying the rupee is doing fine. But let's come to a more pertinent point. RG will have to focus on one thing. And the one thing that RG will have to do is select his right generals. You see, Sanket put out a tweet of Bhupendra Yadav. I'm not a fan of BJP. I dislike the BJP very passionately politically. But Bhupendra Yadav is such a general for Amit Shah. You have Sunil.
No, but Raghav Chadda has been tweeting. The entire opposition is tweeting.
Raghav, let's not talk about UP. Let's talk about BJP, which is a national party. The fact is that the Congress and RG will have to select correct generals to fight his battle. When you have generals who cannot retain their own seat in Delhi, who cannot win a Rajya Sabha election, who time after time have destroyed the party, the same people cannot be put in charge. So I think that's an advice I will give RG.
Sachin, this is the second time you say, name Mr. Ajay Makan. No, you're going after Mr. Makan. Say it.
I mean, everybody knows who I'm talking about. The guy has been incompetent and continues to be incompetent. So I firmly believe that RJ and PG and Mrs. Gandhi can solve this, but they will have to choose better soldiers to fight their battles. Radhika, she fought the election so well in Delhi, but Makan lost his own deposit, and Congress came up with a zero, a state that Congress governed for 15 years very well. So you will have to choose people who are more competent. And one more advice to the Congress: stop making outsiders heroes. In this case, there's no outsider, but I agree to that point that RTG said. Outsiders should not be given important positions.
All right, Radhika, could it be possible? And this has been very loosely mentioned in the.
Before Radhika answers, Vishnu, there is a quick update.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can quickly get Harsha Kumari Singh, because now we are hearing that the MLAs are going to stay in Jaipur. They are not going outside Jaipur. The central observers are going to meet all these MLAs one-to-one, which means there will be a one-on-one meeting between these MLAs and the central observers.
All right, Sanket, we've got Harsha with us now. Yeah. Let's just quickly go across to us. Harsha, go ahead with the very latest developments.
Yes, Vishnu.
Go ahead with the latest developments.
A while back.
We believe Mahesh Joshi and Shanti Dhariwal have gone to the Chief Minister's house. What else are you hearing?
Yes. So, Vishnu, just about 10-15 minutes ago, Mahesh Joshi, who's with Pratap Khachariawaz, Sayyam Lodha, that independent MLA, who said that if you don't listen to the MLAs, the government will fall, and Shanti Dhariwal, at whose house was that party, or like we were saying, perhaps the Last Supper. So they have all gone now to Chief Minister's residence, where Mr. Ajay Makan and Mr. Kharge are there with Mr. Ashok Gehlot and with Mr. Sachin Pilot, and about 20 of his supporters are there. That's what the number given. And here the claim is that there are about 90 to 92 MLAs with Mr. Gehlot. So they have gone to speak to Mr. Makan. We are being given to understand that the High Command has had a conversation, and that Mr. K.C. Venugopal has had a long conversation with Mr. Ashok Gehlot, where Mr. Gehlot told him that, the MLAs are upset, it's not in my hands. But obviously they do know that he could. I mean, if he has in any way stoked the fires, then he is the one who can resolve it also. So now, apparently the central observers have been told that they should talk to all the MLAs one-to-one. So as of now, 4 senior MLAs, close confidants of Mr. Gehlot, have gone in, and we are also being told that the CLP will happen. Now when that happens, we don't know, but apparently the central observers are not going to go back, and they're going to stick it out here till they resolve this issue.
All right, Sanket, go ahead. You were asking something.
No, Harsha, perhaps if you can, are central observers going to give in? Because it is very clear when 92 MLAs walk in one by one and tell the central observers that our allegiance is with Ashok Gehlot. In that sense, it's a foregone conclusion. The result of this exercise. Is it going to be that simple?
Yes, absolutely, Sanket. And my question to you, in fact, was that does that mean, Sanket, that Ashok Gehlot is out of the race for Congress president? What does that mean? So, if you just a little while back.
But is the way out of this Sachin pilot perhaps trying to contest for the post, because there was loose talk of that as well?
Well, in this night of long nights, should I say, anything can happen. But the thing is that what is very clear from the very beginning is that Mr. Ashok Gehlot was firstly reluctant to stand for Congress president. He was reluctant to give up Rajasthan, though of course he went on record many times to say that that's what the media's interpretation is. But what else is this but reluctance? And secondly, he was very keen that he does not want to hand it over to Sachin pilot. So it has to be someone of his choice, and the timing has to be his. I think that he's always been telling the centre. And somewhere you also see the unraveling of the central leadership. I mean, this is it's like a rebellion from one of their own loyalists. So where does that leave the Congress, the central?
Yeah. In fact, let me put that question to Radhika Khera. Where does this leave the Gandhis in the top leadership? It's not enough to say that this is inner party democracy. We will talk to anyone, etc., etc. One of their closest confidants, as we've been saying through the evening, appears to have worked against the interests of the party at the centre.
I don't think anyone has worked against the party or the interests of the party. Like I said, the Congress is a democratic party. We take views of our leaders, our MLAs, our workers very seriously. And everything is done in consultation with them, whether it is electing the next Congress president also. So they have voiced their opinions, and whatever, like I said, like you are reporting as per sources that there's going to be individual talks with each and every MLA. So that just reiterates my point that there will be discussion, and in discussion,
but
and
this could have happened earlier. Radhika
Huh?
Khera, this could have happened earlier also, no? Now that these MLAs have come out in a bus threatening to resign, now you are having this one-on-one conversation. A stitch in time.
Well, see, like I said, first of all, there is no situation of a government falling. There is not going to be a situation. None of the MLAs are going to do anything which is going to harm the future of Rajasthan or the progress of Rajasthan. जैसे कहते हैं हिंदी में कहूंगे कि कांग्रेस का हर एक सिपाही, हर एक विधायक प्रतिबद्ध है अपने प्रॉमिसेस को जो हमने राजस्थान की जनता से किए हैं, और हम सरकार बनी रहेगी और उस पे कोई भी डर या भय नहीं है. Coming back to now, what is happening? They have voiced their concerns. Everyone, they feel that whoever their leader is, who they want to work under, that will be done in consultation. Sometimes some things don't happen like you want them to. It's all right. At least you get to see there is democracy. Like I said, it's not in Gujarat. Suddenly, आज ये मुख्यमंत्री बन गए, आज वो मुख्यमंत्री बन गए. भूपिंदर जी is thinking ये कौन से वाले भूपिंदर जी है जो बन गए? He was in shock when he was made मुख्यमंत्री. उत्तराखंड में आपको नहीं पता होता who will become मुख्यमंत्री. There is no discussion anywhere in the Bharatiya Janata Party or the Aam Aadmi Party who is making these tweets and all. Suddenly you have Mr. Man. Everybody knows Mr. Man is the Mukhyamantri. Suddenly there is Mr. Chadha who is sent on top of his head that he will decide what will happen in Punjab. That does not happen in the Congress Party. Everything is in consultation with its leaders. You cannot just suddenly decide एक आज ये sprout हो गया, आज वो sprout हो गया. ऐसा नहीं होता.
Okay.
Whatever the MLAs will decide, सब मिलके करेंगे.
Yeah, that's right. She's right on that. She's absolutely right. And I think, see, I understand why media sometimes tends to get very aggressive with the Congress because, and I'm not blaming you guys personally, media is so used to 1.5 men taking decisions that they don't understand we've suddenly lost what democracy is. So 90 people, even if you say, are not accepting, let's hypothetically say the views of the Gandhis. That's your hypothetical argument. Isn't that democracy? That's democracy 101.
There's a fine line between democracy and utter complete indiscipline.
But that will happen.
But Tehseen, respectfully, this is like defending the impossible. You've got 90 leaders sitting in the Speaker's house. The Congress is in disarray in one of the few states which you control, and you say that this is a great victory for democracy. I mean, the party has
very hard to pass this off as democracy. Very hard.
Absolutely.
You think it's a democratic exercise?
I'll tell you what.
A democratic exercise would have been that even before this CLP meeting or in the CLP meeting, the central observers, that was the forum.
Can I reverse this?
Can I reverse this? Can I reverse this? Heard all these MLAs.
Can I reverse this? Did Mr. Kharge or the other person who's been sent from Delhi declare the name of the Chief Minister that there's a rebel? There's no name declared. I don't know. I talk about people who are competent. So wait, did Mr. Kharge or the other gentleman declare his name? They haven't declared his name. So whoever, they haven't declared his name. The fact of the matter is that no name has been declared by the central leadership. So people will obviously go, and MLAs will go together to meet the Speaker of the Assembly. How else will they go?
All right. Look, hold that thought.
Numbers.
Tehseen, hold that thought. I need to take a short break. We'll come back in just the next little while. Stay tuned. Good evening. It's 10:51 p.m. At 7 p.m. there was supposed to be a CLP meeting, a Congress Legislature Party meeting in Rajasthan, where there was a certain script, and the script was actually quite simple. Ashok Gehlot would tell his supporters that I'm going to file a nomination to try and be the president of the Congress in internal elections, which have been widely spoken about. Sachin Pilot was expected to take over as the next Chief Minister of the state, but then there was this incredible drama, and that drama is continuing. The long and the short of it, right at this hour, there are 90 odd MLAs, supporters of Ashok Gehlot, at the Speaker's house, a short distance away from his house, where they've apparently said that they're willing to resign. This isn't about the BJP or any crossover or anything of that sort. This is about a master stroke at one level by the BJP, by the Congress party, by Ashok Gehlot specifically, where he essentially wants to leave or state the message that he is the dominant leader. Sachin Pilot should not be the one who replaces him as Chief Minister. And look, there are all of these leaders over here who say that they want me to remain, or if I have to go, then somebody who has been loyal to me and has not been loyal to Sachin Pilot in the past needs to take over as Chief Minister. So therefore, it's a complete crisis. Throughout the day, ahead of that Congress Legislature Party meeting, there's been Mr. Ajay Maken and there's been Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, who were there as central observers to see that the script was followed. The script has not been followed. But what we've been able to confirm in the last half an hour or so is that there are talks which are taking place. And now there are efforts by Mr. Kharge and Mr. Maken to meet 3 or 4 of the senior most leaders who were among the dissidents, who were at the Speaker's house, speak to them, try and sort things out. And the message from the leadership of the Congress at the center is that, look, let's talk, let's figure things out. Obviously, this raises a lot of questions on the Congress party, the fact that it seems to be splitting at the seams, certainly if you look at it from just the discipline within the party in Rajasthan, there is an equivalence being made to the situation which the Congress saw before the elections in Punjab as well. But this is a drama which is happening right now. Rest assured, the government isn't going to fall. It's not that sort of crisis, at least it doesn't look to be that at the moment. But what does this actually say about the Congress party? Sanket?
Well, in one word, chaos. That is what is happening right now. the Congress trying to pass this off as internal democracy. It would have been internal democracy had all of this happened behind closed doors in a party forum called the Congress Legislature Party, a meeting which was scheduled to take place at 7 o'clock. That was the forum where these MLAs could have said what they wanted to. But the point is that these MLAs also realized that a script has been handed over from the central leadership, and this script was not acceptable to Mr. Ashok Gehlot, which is why this crisis is now unfolding on the streets, which is why a bus was ready, which is why 4 of the leaders have now gone to those central observers. Sonia Gandhi, we have now learned by way of sources, has instructed the central observers to speak to these representatives, speak to these MLAs, and try to figure out what they want. It's very clear. That meeting, by the way, is happening right now, where the MLAs are likely to tell the central observers that they're not happy with what was planned initially. Ashok Gehlot has also told Mr. K.C. Venugopal, who's the General Secretary Organization of the party, that I can't help and I cannot control what the MLAs are thinking. This is what they are thinking. You may want to listen into what they're saying. So that listening process is going on right now. I would say it's happening very late in the night, but this is going to continue.
And you know what we'll do in the next little while is play out a couple of reactions from Pratap Kachariawas, one of the few leaders. In fact, he's the only one who's actually spoken about the situation. So let's just queue up those sound bites, and we'll play those out in just in the next little while. Just a quick comment from you, Aarti. You know, I mean, this is the last thing that the Congress needed at a time when they're talking about Bharat Jodo and they're talking about inner party unity. You know, Rahul Gandhi is in the south of the country somewhere at the stage, and then something like this happens. How much of a setback is this to the Congress as it tries to fix itself?
It's quite a setback, Vishnu. And, you know, I think it, you know, as I've said before also, that I think it really exposes the leadership. You know, its inability to plan ahead, its inability to anticipate, its inability to, you know, politically manage things in the Congress. And, you know, that's not good news. I mean, as Rahul Gandhi is marching to the north in this, you know, huge sort of Bharat Jodo Yatra, I mean, he should have been looking stronger and stronger, instead of which this Rajasthan crisis has made the Gandhi family leadership look weak. So, you know, it's been a huge setback, and, you know, they better resolve this quickly. And I really see only 2 options. Either they let Ashok Gehlot stay on in Rajasthan and, you know, look for another Congress chief to contest, maybe a Kamal Nath or a Digvijay Singh or a Manish Tiwari. I mean, all 3 of them have expressed interest in contesting. Or
I'm just interrupting
they give in to what Ashok Gehlot
is,
you know, what the MLAs are
Aarti,
demanding,
I'm just interrupting you because
somebody who's Ashok Gehlot loyalist.
Yeah, I just need to take this short break, and then, you know, we'll be back with the latest at top of 11 p.m. Sorry, in just a few minutes. Welcome back. Some breaking news coming in of the sequence of events which resulted in so many of these MLAs going across to a close associate of Ashok Gehlot, and this unraveling, the situation fast unraveling as far as the Congress is concerned. Sanket has the details. What are you hearing, Sanket?
Well, yes, Vishnu, our colleague Uma Shankar Singh has spoken to some highly placed sources in the Congress party, and they've told him the following, that the Parliamentary Affairs Minister and the Chief Whip in the Rajasthan government, Mr. Shanti Dhariwal, as well as another person, they misled the MLAs by basically telling them that there is a confusion and please come over to my residence. So all of this, the central leadership basically now feels that this was some sort of a conspiracy. Number 1. Number 2, we are learning that the central observers have now, in the wake of this crisis, have been told to speak to each and every MLA. Each and every. That means 92 MLAs will be spoken to right now. This meeting has already begun. We've been reporting all of this. Then after that, a Congress legislature party meeting will take place. Now, whether that happens in the dead of the night Or will that happen tomorrow? That we do not know. Clarity we'll get in just a short moment from now. The MLAs are then likely to authorize the Congress president, which is Sonia Gandhi, to decide who she would want as the next Chief Minister of Rajasthan. And we are also learning, Uma Shankar Singh learns, that the central leadership is, quote, quite unhappy with the turn of events in Rajasthan. That's the latest that we are getting.
All right. All right. So that actually is interesting. The source-based information seems to indicate what I think is common sense, that the leadership of the Congress unhappy with the situation, and there's this process now to try and resolve it. Radhika, can you add to any of this? What are you hearing? What is the way out for the Congress?
I'm not understanding. If people are talking there's a script, I don't know what script there is. You have access to the script that I don't have access to.
There was a script earlier on. That script has disappeared.
There's a script which I have no access to. Again, this is information which I have no access to. And I'm listening to you. Ye kya bol rahe, ye kya ho raha hai? You know, this is everybody knows. Just the Congress people don't know. Our leaders don't know.
So tell us what you do know, Radhika.
Nobody knows.
So
but the media knows.
It's
a very funny situation right now. But
we know
like
the government won't fall. We know the government won't fall. Radhika and I know this for a fact.
The government will not fall.
Radhika,
the government
go ahead.
will not fall.
Yeah.
The government will not fall. The interests of the people of Rajasthan will be a priority. And that is not happening. Like I said, let's wait and watch. Let things unfold. But let me tell you, there is no script, because if there was a script, I would have a script too and I would be reading out of it. We are not the teleprompter GV party, जहाँ पे हर चीज scripted होती है and we have to follow that. We, like I said, we are a democratic party and everybody has the right to voice their opinion. The MLAs do, and also Radhika Khera has the right to voice
their opinion. Okay, Radhika Khera, can I ask you a very simple, innocent question? Could this have been handled better? Simple.
Well, I feel the MLAs could have all spoken to the leaders, to the people authorized, the general secretaries, instead of coming out to the media like that. I always believe in that कि घर की बात घर के अंदर solve हो जानी चाहिए, बाहर नहीं बोलनी चाहिए in any situation, because we are a family. But let's wait and see what they are saying and what their problem is. Anything should not come out in the media. That is something which I personally always feel. So they could have also spoken to the leaders.
Is it possible, Radhika, that the CLP might actually happen tonight itself, or do you actually see the possibility of this going on for a while?
I think if, like you said, what I heard from you, because I'm on the show, like you said that the leaders are going to talk to each and every, the observers are going to talk to each and every MLA. So I think that's going to take the entire night, 90 MLAs, even if you give them 5 to 10 minutes each. I don't think that's going to end any time before early morning. So we are all going to be waiting and watching. Long night for everyone, the media as well as us.
Yeah.
Let's wait and watch. And then maybe a decision will be taken as to whether the meeting is going to be held today or tomorrow. Let's see how things unfold.
Sure. Tehseen, let's look at Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot. Everybody knows that Sachin Pilot has had aspirations of becoming Chief Minister. This was supposed to be his moment. It finally arrived. Quite clearly, he doesn't enjoy the support of all of these MLAs. Where does that leave him in Congress politics in Rajasthan?
So thank you, because you said both Ashok Gehlot ji and Sachin Pilot ji are capable of being Chief Minister, and that's what it is. In the Congress, everyone is capable of aspiring for the highest post and capable of being Chief Minister. They're competent, and I think that's a good thing for a party. That's not necessarily bad. Now, if somebody does not have support of the MLAs, as you all are saying via some script, which is quite a bad script, I must say, then I mean, democracy will play out. So I think too much is being read into something that is actually a very pure democratic exercise. But I completely concur with Radhika on one point. This should have been resolved inside the four walls of the Congress. It shouldn't have come out. I agree to that. And where she won't say and I will say is, but then you had an incompetent person from Delhi sitting there who completely messed it up.
Who are you talking about?
I think by now...
You read your script.
By now
this wasn't, the names aren't in your script. The names aren't in your script.
What has he done to you, Tehseen?
Nobody can
really have a bone to pick with Mr.
I have no bone.
Oh, right, Mr. Ajay.
No, I have no bone to pick. See, I've always voted the Congress, and I just think that the one thing, and I passionately dislike the BJP, but I just think one thing you must learn even from your rivals is that you must have competent people in the general's post. So when you don't have competent people, or you have incompetent people, time and again.
So one moment, this whole competent argument, Tehseen, how do you rate the competence of Mr. Kharge?
He's a competent gentleman. He is.
So
He's a two-time MP.
He's also,
he's competent.
one moment. So he's also a part of the central observer team. So
yeah,
if one person is incompetent, at least you had one.
Therefore, the confidence is still there that the government won't fall.
All right.
Because he's there.
One second, we've got a couple of reactions.
Gandhi and RG are there.
Just half a second. We've got a couple of reactions coming in. Let's just take a look. These are Congress leaders. Let's see what they've said.
हम सब अशोक जी गहलोत साहब के साथ में हैं और हमारे मुख्यमंत्री वही रहने चाहिए। इसको लेके हम सब जा रहे हैं और आलाकमान से हमारी यही मांग है कि माननीय मुख्यमंत्री अशोक जी गहलोत रहने चाहिए। इसी को लेके हम सभी विधायकों ने ये तय किया है कि हमारे मुख्यमंत्री हमसे जाने नहीं चाहिए, इसलिए हम इस्तीफा दे रहे हैं।
आपको लग रहा है कि सरकार गिर गई? सरकार नहीं गिर रही, जो इस्तीफा दे रहे हैं और नाराजगी दूर हमारे परिवार के मुखिया संभालेंगे, करेंगे, सुनेंगे बात तो दूर हो जाएगी।
All right, so there is Pratap Kachariawas, and I don't recognize the leader prior to that. Ramlal Meena, I'm told it's Ramlal Meena who actually spoke. A couple of reactions, not very, and I think Sanket, it's interesting that we haven't heard or haven't had a single reaction all evening tonight from the Sachin pilot camp. No word from Sachin or his supporters. Nobody. Apparently, there are 21 MLAs who are on his side. We don't know anything about what they're thinking.
So far, they've not spoken. You see, they're still hoping, and this is my assessment. They're still hoping that silence is going to work in their favor.
Yeah.
And that is a strategy that they're adopting, that we have the central leadership with us. You know, a bigger question over here is, where does this leave Mr. Ashok Gehlot and his candidature of being the Congress president in the middle of all of this? Again, I would repeat myself, as we've been discussing through the course of this evening, the central leadership will not be naive enough to believe that these are just some MLAs who are emotionally responding to a certain decision that would have been taken. I'm sure the central leadership, and by central leadership I mean the Gandhis, are aware that Mr. Ashok Gehlot was unhappy with what was happening, unhappy with the elevation of Sachin Pilot. This is not new. It has happened. This is the third time it has happened. Remember the choicest of words Mr. Gehlot had for Sachin Pilot: Nikamma, Nakara. And for this to happen again in public, where does this leave Mr. Ashok Gehlot and his candidature for that position of being the Congress president?
Right. No, and you know, absolutely. Where does that leave him? Absolutely. Radhika, do you see, in terms of conversations, do you see the Gandhis, do you see Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi getting into a conversation or a dialogue now with Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot? I ask this because, you know, you are on a Bharat Jodo mission at this stage, but then the BJP says that you need to fix the equation between these leaders. So do you see them reaching out and telling them, come together and let's talk?
See, I'm sure the Congress president has already reached out to Gehlot ji and Sachin ji and other leaders also. The Congress president, she is the Congress president, she will definitely reach out to them. And I want to make something very clear. If at all, I don't know what is going to happen, whether Mr. Ashok Gehlot ji will file in his nomination for Congress president or he won't. But if he is going to file in his nomination for Congress president, he is going to be the leader of the entire Congress party of every state. He is going to be the senior most leader of the party. Do you think he will let the state that he comes from have chaos or havoc or not be taken care of? His priority will definitely be Rajasthan, and he's going to ensure, if he gets elected as Congress president, that Rajasthan is well taken care of. He is not going to let anything go wrong in Rajasthan. So let's wait and watch. The MLAs are consistently coming out with their concern, and it happens when you work under someone and you work together with someone for so long. Ashok Gehlot ji is not a leader who has just come out today. He's a very senior leader. He has been leading Rajasthan for many, many years. He has a very long career, and people of Rajasthan love him. His party members love him, which is why he continues to be the chief minister. So and there always tends to be this. We are human. We tend to sometimes if we feel that वो emotions आ जाते हैं बाहर, the emotions are coming out. There will be resolution. There will be talks. Let's wait and watch and see what happens. But I can tell you for a fact that the party leadership must have already reached out to both the leaders and the other leaders who are in charge. Have already reached out, like you said, to each and every of the MLA, and they're going to sit and talk to everyone. There is going to be dialogue, and what the
Radhika Khera, the fact that dialogue is happening now, and they are going to individually speak to these MLAs, and these MLAs have very openly come out in a bus, saying that they are going to resign, and they're saying that they do not want Mr. Sachin Pilot. So their opinion is very clear, and at the end of a CLP meeting, if they say that we authorize the Congress president now to take a decision, and the president still goes ahead with the decision of Sachin Pilot, then what happens?
Lots of 70 MLA, 80 MLA, 90 MLA है तो इकट्ठे जाएंगे तो बस में ही आएंगे. अब और तो कोई तरीका है नहीं that they will all go together. So they all went together. Now coming back to
I'm talking about
what they
opinion.
have. That is what I'm saying. Opinion, they all went together. It is when you have an opinion, you go together. सब साथ गए, अपना opinion रखा है. They have given it to the Congress president. They said that this is our opinion. Now it is on the Congress president to decide. And I will tell you for a fact, the Congress president will take each and every opinion into consideration. No one's opinion will be thrown out into the dustbin. And ऐसा नहीं होगा that a decision, the end decision, the final decision will be taken with keeping everybody's opinion in view. Okay. Whatever, like I said, we elect our leader once we win a government, once we form a government. We don't send a parachute leader ki bhaiya ab aap MLA, ab aap CM banenge. Now Modi ji doesn't like this one, out you go. Another CM will come. Now here he doesn't like someone, out you go. Another CM will come. The MLAs will decide. The MLAs have that right because they have won the state for the party.
You've definitely brought in the position which it appears the Congress will have no chance but to accept that the MLAs will now decide who the next chief minister is going to be, whereas this was being decided from the centre. This decision was clear. Ashok Gehlot will be given an opportunity to run for president. Sachin Pilot will be brought in. But now the central leadership has been forced into a situation, and you're reflecting that where you say that the MLAs will decide.
No. There is no forceful situation and nobody has been given directions to contest as Congress president. So nobody needs permission in this party. So these news that this one has been given permission, so and so has been given permission, nobody in the Congress party needs permission. You are also welcome to become a member of the Congress party and contest for Congress president. Like I said, it is a democratic party. If you can get the delegates, you might as well win. So there is no one who is deciding ki aap ladenge, aap nahi ladenge. And the same thing goes for the chief minister also. Earlier also, विधायक दल की बैठक होती है, उसमें नेता चुना जाता है. That is how the Congress party works. The delegates will also come and elect their national president.
Right.
Like I said, सबकी opinion matters, not one person. And at the end of the day, it is going to, whatever decision is going to be taken in consideration. First priority is Rajasthan, the people of Rajasthan, and how the development continues in Rajasthan.
All right, let's see. That development can only happen if the party is united and the government in charge is united as well. We'll take a short break. Srinivasan Jain joins us in just a few moments. Do stay tuned.